Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Westferry Time podcast, your go to source for news, insights, and all things that shape our world today. I'm your host, Sophia, and it's so great to have you with us. We've got something really exciting lined up today. We're diving deep into a fascinating and essential topic that is fundamental to all of us: understanding human behavior.
Hey everyone, I'm Harris, and I'm honestly so pumped for this episode, Sophia. I can already tell it's going to be such an interesting discussion. We all deal with human behavior daily, whether it's with ourselves or the people around us. It's just one of those things that shapes our entire lives.
Absolutely. It's such an important part of our lives. I mean, think about it. From the smallest decisions we make every single day to those big life changing moments, human behavior drives everything. Whether it's how we react to stress, why we feel certain emotions, or how we behave in social settings. Understanding this is key, not just to understanding ourselves, but to better understanding others. It's something I've always found absolutely fascinating, and I'm super excited to explore it with you today.
Same here. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's interesting because human behavior is influenced by so many different factors, some of which are right in front of us, and others that are way deeper, often hidden. I think we should start with the basics: emotions. Think about this. Have you ever watched someone react to something and you're just like, wait, why are they responding like that? It could be something as simple as watching a movie, right? One person might be crying while the person next to them might be laughing. Same scene, same movie, but totally different emotional responses. What's going on there?
Ooh, that's a perfect example. It's wild how our reactions are so deeply personal, and a lot of it has to do with our experiences, our biology, and our personalities. I mean, think about it. Our mood, our past experiences, even what kind of day we're having, these all influence how we emotionally respond to something. But a huge factor here is our neurobiology. You know, our brain chemistry plays such a massive role. Take dopamine and serotonin, for example. They're chemicals in our brain that regulate our mood, how we react to things, and even how we perceive the world. Isn't it crazy that something so small can have such a big impact?
Exactly. And while biology is clearly a huge part of it, it's not everything. Our environment, the people around us, and our past experiences also play a big role. For example, think about the way we were raised, our upbringing, the family dynamics, the culture we grew up in, and the relationships we've built. These all shape the way we react to the world. Let me throw a scenario your way. Imagine someone getting feedback at work. One person might see it as an opportunity to grow and improve, while another might feel hurt, defensive, or even upset.
This is such a good example. It really highlights how our personal histories influence the way we see the world. Like for some people, getting feedback could have been a positive experience growing up, so they're more open to it. They see feedback as constructive, a chance to get better. On the other hand, someone who faced harsh criticism in the past might associate feedback with negative experiences and feel threatened by it. That's where the fight or flight response kicks in. It's fascinating how quickly our bodies can react, often without us even realizing it. It's like we're programmed to protect ourselves from perceived danger.
Yes, exactly. The body's reactions can be so immediate. I remember this one time when I had to present at a major conference last year. As soon as I stepped on stage, my heart started racing and I could feel my palms sweating. It was like my body was already reacting to the pressure even before my brain had caught up. I didn't even think about it. It just happened automatically. Isn't that wild? It's like our bodies are always a step ahead of us.
Ha ha ha. Oh, I can totally relate. I've had moments like that too. There was this one time I had to host an event at the very last minute, and I was feeling so much pressure. I was thinking, oh no, how am I going to pull this off? I could feel my hands shaking and my mind was racing. But the second I started talking and engaging with the audience, something clicked and I felt myself settle into it. It's like my body just found its footing. It's amazing how our instincts can kick in when we're under pressure.
Yes, it's incredible. And you know what's even more interesting? While we all have that same physical reaction to stress, how we handle that stress can really depend on our surroundings and the people around us. If you're in a positive, supportive environment, you're more likely to stay calm and deal with stress in a productive way. But if you're surrounded by negativity or criticism, your response might be more defensive, or you might feel anxious. It's like the energy of the people and the atmosphere around you has such a powerful effect on how you feel
Totally. Have you ever found yourself in a room full of positive, energetic people? It's like their vibe just lifts you up. Oh, but on the flip side, I've been in toxic work environments and it's the total opposite. It can be so draining. I remember a colleague of mine, she was always so positive and upbeat no matter what was going on. It was like her energy was infectious. Even during tough situations, she could always find the silver lining, and I always connected with the community that the company led in, and it fit my idea, it fit my mindset, and it would totally change the vibe of the whole team. It was amazing to witness.
Wow, that's such a powerful example. It just shows how much our behavior doesn't exist in isolation. It's like throwing a pebble into a pond. The ripples affect everyone around us. And speaking of influence, let's talk about culture. It plays such a huge role in shaping how we behave. Take greetings, for example. In one culture, something as simple as a handshake could mean confidence and respect. But in another, that same handshake could be seen as a little too forward or even rude. It's crazy how culture can shape our perceptions of what's normal.
Oh, absolutely. Cultural differences are such a big part of human behavior. Even something as simple as eye contact can be interpreted differently. In some cultures, maintaining eye contact is a sign of respect, while in others, it could come across as confrontational or even rude. It really drives home the point that context is everything when we're trying to understand someone else's behavior.
It really is. And yet, it's so easy to judge behavior that's different from our own, isn't it? Have you ever wondered why we do that? Why do we sometimes make snap judgments about what we think is normal?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think it's all about our brains trying to take shortcuts. We rely on mental heuristics, basically mental shortcuts we use to make quick decisions. They're efficient, but sometimes they lead to snap judgments and even stereotypes. I know I've caught myself doing that before. It's almost like our brain just wants to make a quick decision, even if it's not always accurate.
Oh, for sure. It's so easy to fall into that trap, especially when we don't have all the facts. But the key is really to take a moment to think before jumping to conclusions. Self-awareness is huge in this process. We need to be able to reflect on why we think and act the way we do.
Yes, self-awareness is such a game changer. When we take the time to reflect on our thoughts and reactions, we get a much better understanding of why we do the things we do. But it's not always easy to be self-aware, right? It takes practice.
Have actually, and I highly recommend it. Mindfulness is all about being present in the moment and paying attention to your thoughts and behaviors as they happen. It's not always easy, but trust me, it really helps with becoming more self-awareness over time. But to start with,
It really is a game changer. With mindfulness, you start learning how to control your automatic reactions. And speaking of control, breaking habits is another area where we can apply self-awarenesses. Have you ever tried breaking a habit, Sophia?
yeah, I actually have. I used to reach for my phone the second I woke up, which was definitely not the best way to start the day. But I replaced that habit with journaling in the morning, and it completely changed my mindset. It's amazing how a small change like that can make such a big difference.
That's such a great example. It really shows how even the tiniest changes in our behavior can lead to huge shifts in our lives. And it's a reminder that we have the power to shape our habits and in turn, shape our lives.
Exactly. So if there's one thing to take away from today's discussion, it's that self-awareness and empathy are essential when it comes to understanding human behavior. When we understand ourselves better, we're much more equipped to understand others as well.
Absolutely. And for me, the big lesson is that our behavior isn't random. It's shaped by so many factors: biology, environment, culture, and our past experiences. By embracing this complexity, we can grow, adapt, and thrive. It's an ongoing journey, but one worth every bit of effort.
Well said. And that wraps up today's episode of the Westferry Time podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to check out more episodes and stories on westferrytime.com. We'll continue to explore topics that matter to you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Stay curious, stay informed, and until next time, take care and have a great day.